Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Road to the Millionaire Retirement. My name is Andrew and I want to thank you for checking out this channel and my very first episode of this channel. This channel is basically gonna be about my retirement portfolio, and you just gonna get to see like how my portfolio is doing. So if you have any question regarding what I'm doing in my portfolio or the stocks that I have, or like any question regarding regarding the portfolios that I have, feel free to ask. Comment below your question and I'll answer them on the next video. So, little background of myself, about myself. My name is Andrew, and I'm currently living in California. High cost of living. So, you know what that means if you're one of those people that lives there. So I'm living in California, but I wasn't born here. I'm born in overseas. My parent moved us here back in when I was a kid. So when we moved here, we weren't, my family doesn't come from rich history. We don't have, we're not privileged in wealth in a sense. So we didn't have that much money. And, the amount that you see here, $100,000, it's not given to me by a family member because, we're lower class, So I worked hard since I was 18 years old. Since 18 years old, I've been working, and right now I'm 32. So over the, what is that, 14 years? So over for the 14 years, I've been saving a lot more than I have been spending. And when I save enough, I bought my own car because, we need cars here in the United States to go from places to places. And, and I saved the majority of them on the side, but I haven't started investing in the stock market since 2016 of January. So I just completed my 5th year and starting 6th year of starting this month. So I want to say, based on my experience of 5 year, I want to say that I'm pretty confident in what I'm doing. And, so if you have questions, I feel like I'll be able to answer question to some degrees. But with that said, if you want to seek professionals, by all means you should. The financial people, they go to college for that. They have much more knowledge. But if you have just basic question, or things that you don't want to spend money to ask, you could always feel free to go to Reddit too, because I know there's Reddit with different subcategories of subreddit that covers stock, investing, financial, just anything that relates to those that you could think of. So you could use that as a source to get some answer to the question you may have. I do check there like almost every day regarding what people ask and what people has accomplished. Um, so anyway, going back to my portfolio, so $100,000. The thing I guess you should always ask yourself is how much of this amount is actual interest that you earn from the investment you put down. Because let's say for example, throughout the 5 year, I put in, $80,000. So my interest from that is only $20,000, which may sound a lot, depending on if you're experienced investor or not. But that 40 that $20,000 from $80,000 is only 25% gain, and 25% gain within the last 5 years, which is mostly bull run, to me is pretty small. I guess that depends on where you invested and how your investment did. But that's also something to consider, because if you put in, if that, for example, $100,000 was, from that $100,000, if majority of that was you putting down your investment, then your return hasn't been that great. But then again, like for example, and this is like extreme example, if you put in $10,000 and that $10,000 grow to $100,000, then that's a exponential growth that you had in your in your investing. That could be either luck, or that could be you doing a smart investing. So it could be a number of things that could have contributed to you reaching that $100,000. So I'm gonna show you my portfolio. Not my portfolio. Yeah, I guess in depth of my portfolio. As you can see here, I do have two different accounts, and I'll tell you what they are just briefly. Okay, so the first account I have is called Brokerage Account. Now, like I said, this channel is not about explaining investment or stock market in that general. That this channel is gonna be strictly about my portfolio and my growth in the portfolio. So that way you guys can kind of see, how stock market works in a sense, I guess. So that way you guys could get an inside idea of, okay, so this is how it goes. So don't expect a details about explaining a stock market in general. Like I said, if you have question, I could answer those questions in the next video. So comment below, but don't expect that, because I know there are a lot of channels out there that talks about in depth of stock market and financials and stuff like that. So, but I will talk briefly about what they are, so you have a general idea. So the first account I have here is Brokerage Account, like I mentioned before. Brokerage Account is basically any money that you could put into the account. I believe the limit is $250,000 a year. So up to that amount, you could put the amount inside the brokerage account, and the interest that you gain from your gain in the brokerage account, um, I believe you pay taxes when you withdraw them. So I mean, like I said, I'm not 100% professional on this, so take it with the grain of salt. But brokerage account, I believe you pay taxes when you take them out, when you withdraw the money, basically. And I know that if you withdraw the money after 1 year, you pay less of the penalty or slash tax, because they have like this. I don't remember the terminology, but it's like a long-term investment and short-term investment, where if you invest on the brokerage account and you pull the money out within the 1 year, you had to pay more than if you were to pay after 1 year. So that's something that you want to look into. So anyway, my first account is brokerage account, and it is about 25% of my entire portfolio, with 25,000 going almost 26,000 at the moment. And yes, so that's my first account. My second account is Roth IRA. Now, Roth IRA, I'm more confident about explaining this because it's straightforward and simple. So Roth IRA is basically tax-free account, which means that every money that you see on your account is gonna be yours. Like, there's no tax involved, there's no penalty involved. Well, there is penalty involved, but that is only if you withdraw the money um, before 59 and a half, and that is only on the money that you earn interest in. So for example, let's say you put $1,000 in your Roth IRA, and your Roth IRA account went from 1,000 to $2,000. Now you could withdraw the initial $1,000 that you put in tax free, no penalty whatsoever, even if you're um, less than 59 and a half years old. But the other $1,000 that you had gained from the interest, that you will have to pay penalty if you're trying to pull that out before you're 59 and a half years old. So that's something that you want to consider. But for me personally, everything that you see in here is something that I plan to not withdraw until I retire. So that's at least until I'm 60 years old. I do plan to work past 60, depending on how I do, like how my body is. Because my job is not too difficult labor-wise, so it's something that I enjoy doing also. So I'm planning to work until I'm 60, regardless of how much money I have in my retirement. Okay, so that's gonna be it for this video. It's just a very brief look into my portfolio. I know you guys probably, I know you guys saw all the letters here and whatnot, and the numbers and whatnot. I'll go into details about these in the later videos. So make sure that if you guys are interested, stick around and see if you guys like what you guys hearing or watching, I guess. Thanks again, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.